Welcome to Orsara di Puglia.
Thank you so much.
Let's start with a question to John. John, what does the Wild Fest mean to you? And do you think this event has brought you even closer to your home country?
Yeah, I mean, many times in the past, people go away and they never come back as immigrants. And I came back a few times, and luckily I'm coming back. And Wildfest is fantastic to see the new generation of Orsara. And I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to be part of this. And I'm happy to see that Orsara is much like the world that I experienced. And coming back to Orsara, as we share many passions, food and music, and it's great that electronic music is part of Orsara. So it's a complete circle for me to come back and work with, as I do everywhere in the world, the various generations and passionate people of electronic music culture.
We are happy as well and proud of it. Hiroko, is this your first time in Italy, and
Yes.
what made you accept the invitation to the Wild Fest?
Well, first off, it's really amazing to be in Italy. Culture shock. I've been impressed with everything, learning Italian culture. You've been teaching me a little bit about how to speak and hand signs. John's been teaching me about everything, local cuisine and all this great stuff. Really, what made me accept is, of course, the great John Acquaviva inviting me. For me, growing up, there's lots of different electronic music, but in North America and the Midwest, John really, and his taste and his vision is something that I've followed my entire life. So everything he's done and pointed to has always been of the finest taste, and getting an opportunity to see what influenced that and where that comes from, which I'm starting to get an idea from, has been really nice, and I can see it. And a place like this where I think maybe this isn't somewhere I'd normally be, why would I ever say no? What a great opportunity. So I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Then we hope to have you back again.
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait.
John, you called Orsara a special place where the goal is to bring the international community to it and to create a kind of piece of music history to add to your international music history. Do you still see a future in the growth of Wild Fest?
Yeah, I think, again, with this generation and the times I've come here and had a chance to meet with the different parts of the village, meeting with, the mayor, working with you guys, meeting some of the business people, and it's nice how they are fixing up the Torre Guevara. So as much as people leave small places, there's people who want to build and live and make the best in a small place. So I think the future is bright as long as the community works together. I know that Orsara has always supported other music, especially during the festivals, and it's really nice to see another part of that music culture that has always been there. So, and that gives the energy to those of us who like electronic music. So I think you guys have done a great job, and it's special because we all have these feelings about home. You love and hate home, but when I came back, I came to understand, and I really do have a love for being here. And it's a pleasure to see some of my family, to understand my past, and the energy of when I travel everywhere. And it's special because I have a connection that if I don't know the people directly, my family knows their family. So it's really special because you meet strangers. Like I went to a party, except I knew your dad. Like that's totally different.
Yes.
How many people at a party is like, your dad knew my dad.
I don't know.
So it's special in a really good way, like being home. So, yeah.
That's a really powerful, strong message, really.
It's a funny but cool, and that's what makes us real people, because we come from somewhere, and so...
Hiroko, we know that music has been in your life since childhood. When was the time you thought it could become an actual job?
Gosh, we talk about this a lot. It's one of those things that how do you think of something as a job? When job is such a bad word sometimes, right? So there's professionalism, there's hobbies, you slide in and out of that. So for me, yeah, I guess I wouldn't still even consider this a job. It's still something that I really enjoy, and when you put the word job on something, then it has
everything can change, and
it's a connotation of you have to do it, right? And I don't ever want to be at this point that I feel like I have to do something. Right now, the music is really enjoyable. Yeah, there's bad days, there's good days. Some parties are better than others, but yeah. When things are going good, they're great. And so right now things are going pretty good. So I'm going to have a positive opinion about it. Maybe next year I might have a different opinion. So we'll check in then, you know.
And we also know that Hiroko, you got a great passion for manga.
Yes.
Our curiosity is whether there is any reference to a manga in particular in your music, because we also heard that your favorite one was Berserk.
Yes. So yeah, I talk about Berserk a lot. It's this weird manga from the 80s, and when it came out, it was a product of its time. Back then, Japanese comic books were full of sex and nudity and whatever was shocking. But 30 years later, these shocking things had consequences in the comic book. So even today, the maybe tragedies or traumas that happened to the characters in the 1980s, they're still dealing with in the current pages that are being written, even though it's a different author. And to me, that is, for one piece of work to carry the message of trauma that long, and bad things, and how people go up and down through that is really important. So I reference it a lot in art, and you know, how much can I really control that in music, especially techno? Not really, it's just me saying that. But for me, it's a permanent thing where, you know, music really is a coping mechanism. So it is when things are bad, things are good, you can tell, right? And so that comic book, especially because it's still going, and it's one of those few things, and it really is about dealing with things that have happened in your past and how they kind of come out, has been, yeah. And it looks cool too. So yeah,
thank you.
No problem.
So we will have great music, thanks to you in Orsara, but we also already have good food in Orsara. So John, please tell us which is your favorite dishes.
So many, you know, like all of us, one of my zia is the orecchiette master, you know, but I like the hardcore stuff. You know, I'm gonna have lunch tomorrow and have a capuzzella, of course, so not for everyone. I remember being young, watching with horror my uncles eating cheese with worms in it. So I still don't have the strength to eat it with the worms, but I've eaten it after the worms go away. And it is one of those delicacies of flavors in the world. You know, we travel, every country has their umami.
Right.
Cheese with worms got a lot of umami, I'm just saying. And we've been trying some food.
Yes.
So, but those are some that stand out for me.
Thank you. This last question is just to both of you, because we know you're certainly bounded by the music and therefore by your profession. So when was the moment the two of you met, and how did it happen?
Gosh, who's got a memory like that?
Hiroko, so the kind of being a little bit older, like Hiroko's like from Chicago, and we did a lot of parties in Detroit and Chicago. So we have a lot of common friends. Like, you know, she was at more parties that I didn't really know her in those early parties. And so the funny joke, right? Like, I never remember the first time I meet someone, because obviously we meet through parties, right? And you probably get the same. And then as you become the DJ, people are, I used to go to your parties. But then we had a lot of circle of friends. So I didn't really connect with Hiroko through Chicago, but one of our other Midwest contacts, you know, working with Seth Troxler, and then same agent. So we just kept seeing more and more of each other over the last handful of years, and we became close friends, because we're all, you know, family with family, and now we're
It
more like
started
family.
at the same time when you told me before we were talking about the Riccio team. So in the same time in which you keep in contact with the many persons that are now friends, that you can call now friends.
I will comment first, obviously. So Rich, and I think it's the same, but I'm curious to hear. So Rich and I started, and we're still like family, but we have our own public lives. So the funny thing is, you come together on that journey, and we were together for a long time, and we've done many things, but we have our own lives, and then, but we're all family, you know, and I've never felt closer, except we're not together all the time, you know, because we all have to keep living our lives.
Yeah. Well,
and everyone keeps doing their, you know. Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's still like, you know, when it's someone like John, I'm still that's super fan, right? And you know, always in awe of everything he's done. So to try to step back from that and be like, well, now I'm hanging out with this person and that changes the relationship. Yeah, it does a little bit, but there's still always going to be this like, wow, I'm hanging out with John Acquaviva in Italy. How cool is that, right? And I get to tell my friends about it. And like, but in the end, you like people or you don't like people, and you get along with them, and you have good times, you have bad times, and those people that, you know, you survive through those good and bad times, they turn out to be your friends. And then, you know, it's a daily process. Right?
It's very much that we came together through inspiration, and then we had that support. You know, we don't call each other every day, but when we do, it's just like, I needed to speak with you. And this week, we saw each other twice this year. We were in Detroit together with, you know, all of our friends. You know, Sean, who had come back, and Seth was there, and everyone.
Everybody, yeah.
And she was playing with Magda. Of course, like, I didn't sleep. I went to see her play with Magda because we support and inspire. It was just, and then we had booked this, so we've done two really nice things together, and we just enjoy every moment. And the inspiration and support, those are the two words that pop up, because Detroit inspired me a lot to hang with all of my family. Like, you know.
Sometimes you forget, right? Like,
yeah, Detroit, I needed that.
It's, you know? Like,
so
you don't necessarily know how much you've missed somebody or how good you feel around them until you see them again when you've been off doing other things, and then the moment is there, and then you know there's something special, right? And it's a feeling, and it's kind of hard to put into words sometimes.
But I got it with the words.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
We're really proud to have you here, really.
And my pleasure.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Well, we can't wait. Thank you guys so much. I hope everybody comes on, has a good time, and you will have a good time if you come.
We're gonna have fun
for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Grazie.